If you're dealing with debt, you know how frustrating it can be, and so do we. We're Family Credit Management, and over the past 20 years, our experts have helped thousands of families conquer their debt. What we do is work with you and your creditors to find a customized solution to your finances. Isn't it time you took control of your financial future? As one of the nation's largest nonprofit credit counseling agencies, we're trusted experts who can really help. But you must take the first step.
Hey, good evening, and we're back for another episode. I am Letitia Griffin, Certified Credit Counselor, and so what I'm here to do is answer any questions that you may have regarding your finances, debt, any type of issues. Also, housing counselor, so if you've got some questions regarding home loan, mortgages, anything like that, any types of questions at all, here to answer those for you. So feel free to call in at 312-738-1060. Now, if you don't get the opportunity to call in, or you're not comfortable talking on air, anything like that, you can always reach out to a counselor at Family Credit at 800-994-3328. Also, pay attention to the website. You can chat online with a certified credit counselor, get all your questions answered, and get some really great advice. And that's at familycredit.org. So those counselors are available through phone and through chat. So use that resource. So we're here, like I said, to talk about finances and debt. And what's going to happen is, actually what's happening right now is Money Smart Week. Money Smart Week is getting started this weekend. So we've got a lot, there's so many different resources and workshops, all of those things happening all over the city and throughout the suburbs in Illinois, especially in Chicago. Some really great options, really great ways to find the resources that you need. If you've got questions about wills, estate planning, there's some really great events that are taking place. So you can go online to moneysmartweek.org, find out all the information about what's going on in the city, where you can go get some great advice. You can have those free workshops and seminars, even events for the kids. Now, I myself, I'm doing a seminar, homebuyer seminar, this Saturday at Wintrust on Madison and Western, and it's at noon. So look at moneysmartweek.org, look at all of those seminars that are available, and please go ahead and take advantage of them next week, because it's going to be a great time. Next thing that we know is happening is, guess what? Today is tax deadline. So I do want to let you know, if you haven't filed your taxes right now, you are really running out of time. It's just a matter of hours before it's too late. So if you have not filed and you're not ready, it's okay. What I want you to do is go to the IRS's website or talk to your tax preparer and file an extension. You need to really do that. It's very important that that's done before midnight tonight, so that you will not be in default and you can avoid all types of fees and penalties by doing it that way. So please, that form is really important. And for a lot of people, they may they're not ready to file yet, or they're scared, they're not sure about all the deductions or even what's going on with their taxes. Some people probably can't find all of their W-2s. Whatever your reason is, go and file an extension, and you need to do it now. If you need some help with your tax debt, you can always contact the Taxpayer Advocate's Office. That's a great place to start. Great resource, and they really will sit down. They will answer every question that you may have and give you advice, or let you know where you can go to get the help. Now, the Taxpayer Advocate's Office, their number is 877-777-4778. So that's another resource for you. And like I said, you need to get those taxes in order, because it's the deadline time, and tomorrow those fees start. So you want to avoid all of that by just go ahead and filing that extension or contacting the IRS advocate for help. Looks like we've got our first caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, I have a question.
Okay. What's your question today? Are you there? Looks like we might be having some technical difficulties. So caller, whatever your question is, we would love to know what it is. We would love to hear from you. So feel free to just give us a call right back, because don't know what happened, but we would love to hear your question. Maybe that's you. Hi, welcome to the show.
Yeah, what suggestions do you have for long-term savings?
Ooh, long-term savings, yes, you really need to have that. So whatever you can do to work towards it, that is what you want to do. You want to think about those. First, you need to look at your budget, and you want to see how much you can actually start saving each and every single month. Now, when I talk to people, a lot of times they say, well, I can't really save, or I don't know how to save, or I use up all of my money and I don't have anything to save. That's the biggest thing that I hear right now. I don't have anything to save and I don't know where to start. Well, you have to start somewhere. So if you're thinking about your long-term savings, you have to have savings now in order to get to long-term savings. So what you want to do is you want to start saving what you can. If you can do $5 here and there, do just that until you are able to save a little bit more. If you are taking advantage of any type of 401k plans, any type of retirement plans, you may have an IRA, or you're looking into getting an IRA, think about that, work on it, and do that. Like I said, you want to take advantage of anything that your employer may offer. And you also want to look at what the max contribution is as well. So that's another way that you can think about your long-term savings. So look at what your employer's max will be and how much you can actually comfortably afford. Divide that out over the year and see how much you actually need to contribute each and every single month so that you can max out your employer's contribution. Great way to just establish long-term savings with that. Like I said, to get there, you got to take baby steps though. So really just go ahead and work on whatever you can save each and every single month. Do just that. Think about those leaks as well that you may come across. And what I mean by leaks, I mean spending leaks. Those things that really just drain your budget and you feel like you may have to have, you can't do without, but typically those are really just wants or things that we actually want instead of what we actually need. So think about the way that you spend as well. Think about what's important to you with your spending, and you want to go ahead and target your savings that way. What are some things that you can cut out? If you can't cut it out, maybe you can reduce it. So look at that and think about those. Think about your budget, your long-term goals, and also you may want to think about how much money do I actually need in order to retire? Or what do I need in order to be comfortable for the next 5 years? What type of savings do I have? And look at all types of savings vehicles and things that you can do to save or to bring in extra income. Because really, if you're thinking about saving, you have to have money in order to save. And the only way to have more money, two ways. You can either increase your income or decrease your expenses. That's it. Those are the only two ways that you can have more money and work towards savings. Now, there's been a debate going back and forth as well where a lot of people, they think, I've got debt and I don't know if maybe I should pay off my debt or if I should save. And counselors at Family Credit can actually help you with that. So give those counselors a call and they can actually help you work through that, and they can look at your budget, help you with long-term savings and short-term goals as well. So that's also important to think about too. So when you're thinking about whether you should pay off your debt, and a lot of people are even thinking about that because they've gotten their tax refunds back and they are wondering, do I take this money and I put it in a savings account, or do I work on paying off my debt? And you have to think about it's also one and the same, because when you're paying off the debt, and it may be taken away from your savings, but that liability is not there anymore. So you may want to work on clearing those liabilities up and then work on saving once that's done. You can do it interchangeably, but it's all a matter of how you think about those goals and how disciplined you are yourself with working with your goals and your finances. And just keep in mind, it takes time to get everything right, and it doesn't happen overnight. So even just making those small steps right now will really pay off later on. So if you've got some problems or issues with paying off those debts, feel free to give us a call. We've got some information for you that'll help you with that. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show. Hi, are you there?
Yes, how can I obtain my credit score, and do I have to pay for it?
So many people struggle with that every single day. The best place you can get your credit score from, and you can do it for free, is at annualcreditreport.com. You will be able to get your report, and you are able to get your scores, and you're getting them directly from the credit bureaus. So annualcreditreport.com, they work to house all your information for the 3 different credit bureaus. So you'll have access to Experian, to TransUnion, and Equifax by just going to this one site. Now sometimes you may see that you're getting letters or you're getting notices from different places saying that they can give you your score. I want you to be cautious with that, because a lot of times if you're not getting that score directly from the credit bureau, then it may or may not be accurate. So you just want to think about that as well. When you're looking at your score, it needs to come directly from the source, and that's the credit bureaus directly. If you use Credit Karma or Credit Sesame or any of those other tools out there, My Credit Profile or any of those, sometimes the credit card companies, they will give you an updated score as well. Keep in mind that that information may or may not be accurate. It could be outdated, especially when you're dealing with a third-party reseller. And a lot of those places, that's what they are. They're not getting the information directly from the credit bureaus. They're getting it from a third party, and by the time they get it to you, sometimes it's old and outdated. So that's why I say, whenever you're looking at those types of scores and from different places, keep in mind that the score that a real lender would see or that a counselor would see is different, maybe about 20 to 30 points. Also had a consumer that I was working with, and they applied for an auto loan, and they noticed that their score was different from what they thought it was. Also, another consumer applied for a home loan. They noticed that their score was different. You know why that is? We got 3 different credit bureaus, but each credit bureau has a different score. And also, anytime anyone is buying that score, they get to pick how they want that score to be made up. So there are so many different scores out there. You may think it's just 3, but everybody has their own rules on how they want their score model to look. So we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of different scores out there. So keep that in mind when you're applying. So I do recommend that anytime you're applying for a loan, auto loan, whatever you're looking for, if you're thinking about financing, look at your report even up to 6 months in advance, just so you know what you're getting yourselves into, and continue to monitor it and look at annualcreditreport.com and maybe pull one score once, and then pull another one every 3 to 4 months or so. That way you're getting updated, you're looking at the real information, you know what you're getting yourselves into, because the last thing that you want to do is go apply for a loan and get denied. So you want to take that pressure off of yourself, know what you're getting yourselves into, keep that in mind, and work on trying to make things better with your credit score, and making sure that that report is the way that it needs to be. Another thing that I'm coming across nowadays is that a lot of people think that by disputing things, that is making things better for them. And a lot of people are disputing things that don't need to be disputed. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about just for a couple of minutes. The dispute process when you have something on your report and you want to dispute it. First thing, if you've got an item on your credit report that you want to dispute, you need to know you can only dispute wrong information. If the information is right, your dispute will not work. So keep that in mind. We'll talk about disputes in a second. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi there. How are you?
Good. Thanks for calling us today.
Yeah, I had one question.
Okay.
A friend of mine told me that there was some moved by the federal government to remove liens from your credit report and have them not affect your credit score. Could you talk a little bit about that? I'll get off the air and let you answer. Thanks.
Sure. Now, with all of the credit bureaus coming together and being able to update their information, they're basing off their scores on the same components. They're trying to align with each other, so they're working together a little bit more. And so everyone's noticed that one of the problems that people have is that if something is if you've got a judgment on your credit bureau report, it stays there and it stays there indefinitely. A lot of people are feeling like, hey, I've got this judgment I didn't know about. There's this judgment on my credit report. I've never had any information on it at all. I've never even heard about it. So what's happening now is that the credit bureaus know this. They're looking into this. They're taking what everyone's saying into consideration. And so they are working, the government's mandated them to go back through. If there's some information that they cannot prove, then it has to be removed. If there's a judgment on your credit report and they can't prove where it came from, they don't have the information, the records are old, all of that information will be updated and removed from your credit report. So keep your eye on that. If you've got a judgment, especially if you've got one that you haven't done anything about, keep your eye on it and make sure that it's coming off. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, yeah, since you're talking about credit reports, can you tell me a little bit about what a secured card is, a secured credit card? I've heard that it helps your credit, but I really don't know anything about it. Can you explain it?
Well, a lot of people have questions about secured card because of the word secured. So sometimes it can scare people and it will keep people from trying to actually get one. So you got people that need help and don't know how to get it, don't know how to work on their credit report. A secured card is a great place to start. With a secured card, you are actually saying that you're going to the bank or a financial institution, wherever you can get the secured card from. Make sure it's legit, but you're going there and you are giving them the amount that they will use in order to give you a credit line. So if you've got $200, then they'll give you a credit line for $200. They take that money, they put it in an account, and they just use that as collateral just in case anything goes wrong with the account. Now, if you're looking at a secured account and you're working really hard, you're going to be making your payments every single month, there's really not a huge chance that that account will go bad. And so what happens, they know this. So you're making your payment each and every single month. They've got this money set aside just in case something goes wrong. So if nothing goes wrong, what a lot of the banks will do and the financial institutions, they will give you that security back. Once they give you that security back, that secured card is no longer secured and it's an unsecured card. The great part about that is that's how it's reporting to the credit bureaus as an unsecured credit card, and no one can tell that it was a secured card because now it's reporting as unsecured. It looks just like a regular credit card. You did not have to go through the struggle and hassle of submitting an application like that or getting another inquiry. Because you put down that money, because you put down that security, they have guaranteed that you will get that card. Now make sure, like I said, that it's a legit card though. You want to make sure that it's through a legit bank and that you meet their qualifications. Now some lenders out there, they will not give you a secured card if you file bankruptcy, and then there are some that will. So you need to do your due diligence and find out which one works for you. A great resource for that is bankrate.com, and you can go to their website. They have a kind of like more like a calculator or a selection tool which will help you tell them exactly what you're looking for, that you're looking for a secured card. You've got $200 to $500 that you're going to put down, and they'll give you all the options that are available. That's a really great place to start. And there are some cards out there that, let's say you got that $200, they might not even require you to put all of that down. They may even let you put down $50 and get a $200 credit card limit. So you want to make sure that you go through everything that's there, read all the options, and pick the one that works for you. If you've got any other questions, you can always contact a counselor and they can help you find out more about a secured card, about working with your budget, anything like that. The counselors are on standby at 800-994-3328. So we were talking about disputing on your credit, disputing issues that are on your credit bureau report. Want you to know that you can go directly to the credit bureau's website to start that dispute process. And you can do that online at each of the credit bureau's websites. So you've got TransUnion.com, Equifax.com, and Experian.com. Look for their education center. And a lot of times, if you have pulled your report previously, you should already have a login. And you'll just use that login, or you can create a new one and go ahead and file your dispute. Now, after you've done that, maybe about a week or so, you'll get something back from the credit bureaus acknowledging that they've gotten your dispute and they will be addressing it. Now, typically it takes a credit bureau, they've got up to 45 days. They've got actually 30 days to contact you. They do it a lot sooner. And they've got 45 days to resolve your dispute. If they cannot resolve your dispute, or at least tell you what's going on with it, then that information has to be removed from your credit bureau report. But it's always worth doing, like I said, if the information is absolutely wrong. If the information is right, what happens is you will put that account in dispute. Now, it stays on your credit report as being in dispute. And that's kind of like a red flag or a black mark against you on your credit that you don't even realize. Let's say if you were going for a home loan or anything like that, the lenders, they will pull your credit report and they see that that account is in dispute. So that kind of stalls you or stops that loan process until you get that account out of dispute. So you want to keep that in mind when you're using a dispute, or people tell you to dispute everything on your credit report. Don't do that. Only dispute the wrong information. Also, if you should also make sure that your information is updated with a credit bureau. Make sure they've got your correct address, your correct name, everything is spelled right. And you want to periodically look and make sure they've got all of your accounts. So you looking at that information, making sure your finances are together and under control, that's the way to go. If you've got any other questions about budgeting, about financing, anything like that, feel free to give us a call. Reach out to a counselor, Family Credit. Like I said, 800-994-3328. You can get those questions answered. Feel free to contact us. You can contact me. And also, think about those events that are going on throughout the week for Money Smart Week. Money Smart Week is happening and you don't want to miss it. So look at moneysmartweek.org, figure out what works for you. Also get the listing of the events that are out there. Take advantage of it and find the help that you need. We'll be back next week. So if you've got any other questions that you didn't get a chance to call in and ask us today, feel free to call back in next week. And we will see you then. So take care.